Here we are, man on the street interview, or in this case, lady on the street interview.
Hi,
The doll.
that's me.
I'm Hollywood. This is Hollywood's Underground. This is a very special edition of Hollywood's Underground. We are doing random sex questions with people we kind of know. I actually know you very well, but this is not related to anything other than a conversation we were just having. So I would like you to briefly summarize what your situation is right now.
All right, so ever since I've been sexually active, I cannot come.
Like, you have come.
No,
Ever in your life?
maybe, but not like.
If the answer is maybe, it's probably no.
But I don't think so.
You don't think you've ever come before?
Like, I've masturbated, I've tried to use vibrators. I haven't used dildos because I don't get the whole like shoving something up inside of me. I've tried to use my fingers.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm hitting the right spots.
Now, I'm only mentioning this because we've known each other for a very long time, and I know you to be a very anxious person.
Yes.
And anyone who knows you knows you to be a very anxious person. This is not news. This is not some thing. But do you feel like it's that you're too in your own head?
No, I think that's what it is
Okay.
I get so overwhelmed with like, oh my god, it feels so good. Okay, stop.
Okay.
Because it's like overload of good stimuli that's like,
I'm going to jump right to my first theory here, and we talked about it a little bit, but you've been on some anxiety medicine.
SSRIs, yeah.
SSRI, which we know can have a negative side effect sexually. It can either decrease or eliminate your desires or your
Lexapro
libido,
does that,
or it
definitely.
can completely just take away your ability to do certain things, and,
Yeah.
and some of that is orgasm. Depends on how. Everybody orgasms differently, that's just how life is. But she's laughing at me. You can't see her face, but she's laughing at me right now because I'm getting all serious all of a sudden.
Yo.
So, here's the thing. When you are in the mood, right?
Mhm.
I know your recent partner is it's newer, but when you've had a more regular partner, who initiates?
Me.
Okay.
I'm very like touchy-feely and
Yeah.
like the intimacy. I like the foreplay. I like the spontaneity that comes with foreplay and
Okay.
sex and
It's not
all
a bad
that-
thing at
all that
all.
good shit.
It's not a bad thing at all. This is great because it means you have the desire,
Mhm.
right? You just, for whatever reason, it's the end game.
Yeah. And
That is, we're censoring our language here because we're actually literally on the street as people are walking by.
see, my problem right now is the new partner is like, I'm very much into sex is like 10 out of 10, attraction 10 out of 10, like
Mhm.
personality, all that shit. So that's what's bothering me is, as I'd mentioned to you off with camera or voice, he moaned my name and it was amazing. And I kept telling him to come because this guy takes forever, and he's like, no. So he finally did his thing, we're done, and then he starts fingering me and he's like, I want you to come for me. I was not able to because I've never gotten to that point. And granted, after sex, it was hard to because like 2 hours fucking,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't
You're-
think my organs down there want to actually do anything
You're a little
besides like.
done at that point. Yeah.
But that's what makes me sad is like trying to explain to a new partner, hey, I don't think I've ever done this.
Mm-hmm.
Because like pre-sex, the hand game was great, the tongue game was great. I just couldn't.
So the recipe's there, but for some reason when the cake is coming out of the oven, it's just not quite ready.
Correct. It's still
Okay.
a little undercooked.
So I'm sorry to hear this because this is sad to hear.
Because this is someone I would actually want to experience that with.
Right.
And I feel like a loser.
So our question is then, what do we do at this point?
Yes.
And I mean, I'm not a trained anything. I've had a lot of life experience. So for off the top of my head, I'm just thinking to myself like, all right, well, obviously go back to basics and try to make yourself come.
Hmm.
But the more pressure you put on yourself to do these things when you're alone or when you're with a partner, it's going to make it harder. Like there are people who get off on like, come for me, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like that's great. And if that's your thing, then I can go for it. But other people if you say things like that to them, it's going to put them in a different headspace. And
Yeah.
now there's pressure. Now it's like, oh man, I'm not just simply enjoying the act anymore. Now I'm like, oh, I have to do this thing.
You have to get that A+.
And the shitty part of it is that is like, you're at the age where you should already. I don't know. I say this.
Oh no, 100%. I should have.
I'm
experienced it.
surprised because as we were talking before we started recording this, like you said, you hadn't.
But I feel like I might have, but I don't, because I get all the woos.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if I'm actually making myself come.
When do you feel like you've been closest? Are there times when you've been high or drunk or
I
just?
feel like intoxicated. It's
Yeah.
probably easier.
Because you're not thinking.
Yeah.
'Cause you're
I'm just
just-
like,
you're just
there's
there.
a dick inside of me. There's a finger. There's a tongue. There's.
You're being stimulated in that way,
Yeah.
and that's great because you're in the moment. You're not thinking about anything else.
But I don't want to be drunk.
Well, no, of course not. You don't want to be like perma-stoned or drunk all the time. And that's like that is not the solution we're talking about here, kids. But like, what do you do then?
Yeah.
What is your solution to this? How do you find a way to get to that mellow spot where you can just enjoy the act and then let it be? So, I mean, being a newer person, he has to be aware of this somewhat. But also, he's how old?
27.
27. He might not be old enough yet to understand that this is a thing, and he might take it as a blow to his ego.
That's what I'm almost afraid of. Because
So-
at least the last time we had hooked up, we had sex after that. Like, we'd gone to eat, came back, fooled around a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's like there was no like, oh my god, now I have to try this again. Like, he didn't put that pressure on.
Okay. Well,
So I think it was just the intimacy that first time when he said it was so good that because we kept moaning each other's names and it was just like.
do you
whoa.
feel like when you respond back in a name, like moaning your name kind of way, do you feel it's almost as a call response situation where like you're only doing it because he did it, so you?
Because I'm a, oh god, oh fuck, oh god. So I think I just reciprocated the name thing because it felt
Right.
so good receiving it that I was like, fuck, like.
I asked this because, at that point the pressure is kind of on you, and you're like, man, I'd really like to come right now, but I can't for whatever reason.
Yeah, I
And-
think as we were getting intimate and he was getting close to being finished, like I know you can kind of tell when people are getting close.
Yeah.
And I felt a little like something.
Okay.
I think my thing is like there's no sploosh. So like I'm getting the orgasm feeling.
Are you expecting there to be a sploosh?
I feel like that's what the world has taught us to be. Like there should be.
No. You're no. That is a fallacy that porn has given the world. There doesn't need to be a sploosh. There doesn't need to be a, oh my god, where this moment where you fucking fall over and die for a minute. Like that's
it's literally
great.
the sensation.
It is
of
the sensation.
pulsating.
I'm willing to bet, hearing you say this now, I'm willing to bet you have orgasm before and you think it's supposed to be this bigger event, and maybe just for you it's not. I don't know this for sure. I'm
So
not a
that's
sex
probably what it
therapist.
is then.
Maybe
So I'm
it
getting
is.
the big it's just not a big splooshy mess.
Not everybody squirts.
Okay, that's
not
I think
every-
maybe
yeah.
my issue then is
No,
I'm
not at all.
getting to, and maybe he thinks all women are. I mean, I think he
Well,
is very much into porn as he's admitted. So maybe he also thinks too.
I'm so glad to hear you say that because that actually solves some of this mystery. Is that yes, there's a very large number of people coming up who think that porn is the thing. Guys,
he is-
everybody listening, porn is fantasy. It's not real. There's real aspects to it. And if you find a partner who fucks you like a porn star and that is the regular for them, awesome. Good for you. Good job. Like, by all means, enjoy. However, porn is a fallacy. It's great. It's a helpful little stimulant for some people. It's certainly a good fantasy inducer, but that's not what it is every time. That's
So
the movies.
I've spent almost 20 years expecting a big hurrah for.
And you probably already have orgasm, but you're thinking it needs to be this other thing, and it's not.
Okay.
Like I'm not sitting here asking to watch you orgasm because that's not the nature
we
of
haven't
our.
gotten to that part of the friendship.
We're not. We've been friends for a long time, and I don't think we're gonna hit that point of our friendship
Yeah,
ever.
you want to just peek in while we're doing the.
It's
the
strictly
bit.
for observational purposes, folks.
Ethan, don't mind the guy in the closet. He's here for science.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, okay, so maybe that's it then. Is I do watch porn. I have watched porn. I masturbate to porn. I do the things.
Yeah.
So, and he's younger, so he does like to
Right.
diddle his fiddle a lot. He's a very sexual person.
Okay, and that's good.
So
That's a
we
healthy
both
thing.
have like the stigma that it has to be.
This thing, and maybe that's the problem, is that it's a thing, but it's not that thing, and maybe you have to figure out what your thing is.
So my thing is just a normal woohoo.
Yeah, just enjoy the woohoo.
Then I probably have, and I've
Yeah.
been offended at my own self for.
This is why we should not defund sex education, but also because we should educate kids more on what proper sexual health is. I'm not encouraging children to have sex. Don't get this twisted. I'm saying that if you're going to be taught something in school, be taught it the right way, and don't have to go learn it offline because it's not correct.
Especially
It's-
even like reading like adult magazine or adult books or stories, whatever. It's always been like, oh, she had the big explosion. And
Right. They describe it in such a way where you're like, oh my god, it's like,
Like-
Bridgerton, like I burn for you, like that kind of bullshit. It's just it's great in the fantasy world. It really is.
So that makes you feel better.
But that's all it is.
Because
It's
yeah,
fantasy.
it's always like, oh, I want you to get so wet, and
Yeah.
that,
You expect this like slip and slide, and maybe it's just like a little garden hose.
I mean, the slip inside is fine. There's plenty of like lubrication.
Right,
Like, I know
right,
I'm
right,
okay
right.
on that part, but I always thought more. So
The end result, you expect there to be a bigger thing.
yeah,
And that's okay. And then maybe this is good for him too. Maybe this is something you guys should talk about, because this might be him thinking that there needs to be this big explosion thing too, because all he's used to doing is watching porn. And like that's not
yeah.
what's going to happen. Especially with you apparently. That's you're
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah, ish. But also get out of your own head a little bit. Like I think part of it is that.
I maybe that's what I've always been afraid of too, is like the insecurity of, oh God, what if it is a big explosion?
Then let it be a big explosion. Fucking revel in it. Own that shit.
Because it is a great thing. Like guys are proud when they make a girl
Oh my god.
do
it's
the,
great.
the thing and the things and the stuff.
Right. I remember the first time I made somebody squirt, and I freaked out because I thought she peed on me.
But I think that too is like, I hear the like sometimes girls end up like peeing a little bit and they think they're squirting.
It could be a bunch of different things, and people have this confusion. Like squirt is not entirely urine. That's not what that is. But what I have noticed a trend in porn is that people will pee. They'll urinate on command, and they'll make themselves pee forcefully, and they'll fake an orgasm at the same time.
Yeah.
This is like during the movies, right?
Yeah.
And so people think that that's what it's supposed to be,
See,
and that's not necessarily the case. Some people do squirt like that.
I will admit this just because it is kind of funny, but back in the day I was hooking up with someone and he totally thought he made me squirt
Right.
by fingering me,
And you just peed a little bit.
and I just literally peed myself. Like I was like, he went to leave and he was like, oh, I made you squirt. I was like, no sir, I didn't tell him this because it was embarrassing.
Right.
But like in my head I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just peed myself
Right.
in my living room on the floor.
Hey, you know what that is? Somebody else's problem right now.
That was after you lived with me for a
Oh,
couple
thank
weeks.
God. Okay.
That was way after, because now that I think about it, I'm like, wait, that's the apartment that you crashed at a couple nights
Oh my God.
when you were in the city.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
God,
okay.
that would have been bad.
Somebody spilled something here?
Oh, sorry, don't mind the
I
bleach
smell
stain.
Did you eat asparagus?
No. But yeah, no, that was the only time I squirted, and it was definitely me just piddling myself.
Well, at least you can look at these things now and analyze it a little bit
Yeah.
more and understand. So
I'm not broken.
you're not broken. I
Not
promise
just
you're
to
not
figure
broken.
out how to last 2 hours, because I'm used to 5 minutes and being done, and now I'm like,
You don't need the last 2 hours either. You don't need to match that.
oh no, I'm okay with it though.
Okay.
That's the worst part. It's just my body is like, what is this pressure and what is this stuff happening that's
Right.
never ever happened.
So then the bigger question then is, why is he taking so long?
He said he sometimes is quick. It just really, I think he just really enjoys the
Yeah.
lovemaking of
No,
it.
we all have that, the intimate part of it, and it's a very, I don't think guys talk about this enough, but there are moments where like as guys, we'll start having sex and we'll be like, oh my god, it's been 30 seconds and you're done.
Yeah.
It happens to
Yeah,
everybody.
he told me
let's
that
not
too. He's
pretend
like,
it doesn't.
I mean, granted, he drinks
Right.
more than I do, so he has even admitted, like, sometimes it takes like a couple seconds, sometimes it takes forever. And I
Yeah.
really liked and it wasn't 2 hours. I didn't time it,
Right.
but it definitely took longer. But it was like, holy shit, like, I'm enjoying it. And at one point, I wasn't even moaning. I was just watching, like, I'm grinding on him, he's grinding on top of me, and
You were enjoying the act.
I'm literally just watching our hips, like, connecting, and I'm like, this is so artistic and so cool that I forgot I was, like, even...
It's
like,
fucking hot.
I had, like, an outer body moment
Yeah.
of, like, I was just... Whoa.
Good for you.
In that moment that I couldn't moan, nothing happened. I just
Right.
stared at him, and
Yeah.
it just felt so good, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I was having sex. Crap. But
and maybe that's your artistic brain breaking in too.
yeah,
and saying
yeah.
like, okay,
But I
well,
look at him, and he is very artistic to me, the way he looks. So I'm like, shit, this is really awkward.
well, he's pretty.
He's pretty.
He's pretty to you.
He's very pretty to me,
Yeah.
and
So therefore,
and this the first person that I've actually like wanted to like connect with.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just lay there like a dead chicken because I'm like, this is not fun, and I'm like, oh, I don't have to move the whole time, but I'm enjoying.
You're in tune with each other, and that's a beautiful thing. That is a really, really beautiful thing because you don't often find partners like that. When you do, hang on to them.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Anxiety
Right.
brain.
So have we solved a little bit of your problem today?
Yes.
Viewers, listeners, rather, tune in and put in the comments. Go ahead and tell us some of your thoughts. How do you get out of that headspace, or how do you get out of your head, or rather into the right headspace?
And if you have a really good strain that helps you relax while in the moment, please throw them my way. I prefer joints.
you can drop links below. Doll, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yes, always.
And this was a totally random man on the street interview.
And it's gonna happen again. I have plenty of questions.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna get the partner involved in this with a few drinks next time.
Oh, it's gonna be a threesome, everybody.
Woo! I'm ready. I got my whips and chains in
Whoa,
my back pocket.
Slow down, girl. It's a podcast threesome. We're not doing all that today.
Damn it. I tried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a